Thank you. Thank you for coming back to Austin. So, I'm familiar with your work. I'm doing the meditation every morning, basically, and getting a lot out of it still, and love it. And I'm reading...
Meditation is a really good way to allow pure positive thought to be dominant. It'll break the cycle.
It helps starting the morning.
We have a question for you before you go. Let's say you have a thought that has some negativity in it. You can feel the resistance of it. Can you feel how, if there is some resistance, that meditation, which can allow no thought and therefore no resistance, is an improvement? And can you feel that from a place of no resistance, that you could get to that daydreaming more easily? Yeah.
Yeah, it allows the solutions, it allows the daydreams, the previous momentum. So, I'm reading Autobiography of a Yogi by Yogananda, and there's some truths there which I read that before I had your knowledge, what I've been able to absorb, and now I'm rereading it. And I'm trying to merge some concepts and having fun with that.
Now you understand so much more about what you were reading.
I couldn't hear, I'm sorry.
Now you understand so much more.
Yes.
What you read before and didn't understand.
Yes.
Because now you have a vibrational basis of understanding what was written from the same vibrational basis.
Yes. Yes, it's interesting how much more the book is visible. I'm doing an audiobook, but same concept. And believe I've heard you say before, and tell me if I'm misquoting, that the common Western concept of karma, there is no law of karma. I mean, I'm probably misparaphrasing.
Well, there certainly is expansion, and there certainly is evolution, and there certainly is deliberate intent, and you certainly come into your physical body intending to have more experience. You just didn't come to clean things up, which is sort of what most people think about with karma. You came for the joy of creating, which don't you just really love and have to acknowledge right now that what you're talking about is where we started, which is the difference between the focus will, which is cleaning stuff up, and just letting yourself be. You didn't come to fix a broken world, and you didn't come to fix a broken you. You came as this perfect, non-resistant being to evolve into more. So there is some sort of karma-like commentary there, but most people are looking at karma in a way that is really not what you intended when you came.
I'm clear on that. I'm going to delve a little bit further. One of the Swamis, gurus, had an explanation of karma where it was explained as cause and effect. I mean, that was literally the entire explanation.
So
and
that's what law of attraction is.
And that's where I wanted to go.
Law of attraction is cause and effect. I offer a vibration and it brings me something like it. Cause and effect.
Yes. Okay, so...
Why'd you get that? Cause. What do you mean? I vibrated something just like it, and it came to demonstrate what I was vibrating.
Exactly. So that I just wanted to kind of confirm that, like that interpretation of karma where it is based upon basically the law of attraction and ask it is given.
Everything's based upon the law of attraction. There's not anything that is outside of that.
Okay.
It's a vibrational universe, and the law of attraction is managing the vibrations, responding to the vibrations and amplifying the vibrations and showing the effect of the vibrations. It's a really wonderful thing when you offer a vibration, cause, you feel an emotion, effect. Let the emotion be the effect before it becomes a manifestation that is so observable that you can't change it. That's getting out ahead of it.
Okay. Yeah. Clear. So to try and restate it one more time, no disagreement with what's being said, but try and put it, is that for, let's say, cause and effect, just saying ask and is given, comparing those two, that cause and effect, if like some guru or swami has really low resistance to its coming in, its being, its effect, basically the effect can be really instantaneous just because you're on step 5. I mean, you're in that continuous allowing of manifestations at the point. So instead of waiting until you croak to have it come, the effect can be, or the allowance of a physical manifestation of some sort. Obviously, there's the feeling manifestation, but the physical manifestation can be as quick as you allow it.
Every manifestation, every cause and effect is instantaneous.
Okay.
But you have to be willing to look with a little more sensitivity in order to realize that there is an effect that is instantaneous. Because when you offer a vibration, things move in response to that vibration. And if you're not sensitive to vibration, you might not notice it. So if you continue it and you're still not sensitive to vibration, you might not notice it. So this is the subject that we love so much, of turning thoughts to things. But if in the vibrational phase you're oblivious, then you might be turning thoughts to things that you might not want. And you don't realize it till it got big enough that you can observe it. And then you have a whole different conversation about cause and effect. Because hardly anybody wants to say, I created that thing I do not want. So then you make stuff up. It happened to me. It was asserted in my experience. It was not my fault. It was somebody else's fault. And then you get really, really, really clever. I must have done something bad in a past life. And there isn't any of that. It's just this cause and effect. When you got here, here's how it is. You came into this physical body as pure positive energy. And the non-physical part of you, eager about your exploration of life. And you said, I'll explore all of the contrast. And from it, I will specify my personal important intentions. And your inner being said, and every time you do that, we'll bookmark it. Every time you do it, we'll become it. We'll be it. We'll hold the frequency of it. So your evolution and expansion will be ours. But the difference between us, your inner being said, and you, is that we will hold the current vibration while you're probably going to hold the current reality. And eventually, if you care about how you feel, you'll lean more and more in the direction of your own expansion. In fact, your inner being reminded you right before you plopped in here. Splat. When you feel satisfaction, you're keeping up with you. When you feel less than satisfaction, you aren't. It's all okay. Nothing wrong with contrast causing you to want something and not going there. So more contrast causes you to really want it and you still don't go. No problem. More contrast causes you to really, 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 really want it. You still don't go. But sometimes, without you even knowing, you live enough contrast that your desire becomes dominant. And then you move without even knowing how it happened. We want you to know how it happened, so you can do it again on purpose.
Awesome. I want that too. It's coming. It's getting better, closer to step 5. I had something else pop up on that, but
you know what he means by step 5? These are the steps in the creative process. Step 1 is ask. Contrast causes you to do that. Step 2 is you launch this rocket. That's step 1. And your inner being becomes a vibrational equivalent to the rocket. So that's step 2. When you ask, it is given. Someone should write a book. Step 1, ask. Step 2, it's given. Step 3, before you can experience the manifestational effect of what has already been given, You have to find vibrational equivalency with your desire, which means you can't focus upon the absence of what you want and be a match to what you want. So step 3 is you got to be thinking about what you want so that you can let what you want in. That's step 3. Step 4 is getting really good at that. Mastery of step 3 is what step 4 is. Might seem strange that step 4 would just be really good at step 3, but these are our steps and that's the way we like it. Step 5 is you step back into contrast, but you're not mad at yourself because you now understand the glorious, delicious, and important reason for contrast. So you do what your inner being does. When you step into contrast, your inner being does not feel bad. Your inner being sees the value of the contrast. So when you step into contrast and you see the value of it, then there's no separation between you and your inner being, even though contrast exists. We've never said that clearly before. Step 5 is contrast exists and you have awareness of the contrast, but you have awareness of the contrast from your inner being's perspective. So you're not detaching from source. That's why Jesus could heal people. He didn't see your sickness. He knew your wellness. You stood there dripping it. Contrast was obvious, but he didn't feel bad for you or worried about you. Instead, he focused upon the vortex version of you.
I definitely want to get better at seeing the vortex version of things like that. And it's just
Why?
because of how you said it. Because, and this is very selfish, in cases where I like allowing well-being for others and I like seeing them well.
Why?
And because it's painful because it's not aligning.
Now you're telling us what you don't like.
Right.
But why?
Because I like feeling well-being, allowing well-being, and
that's the
not
answer
being
to everything.
being taken
When
out
you
by.
really mean that, when you say, I like the satisfaction of alignment, you've got this figured out. I like the satisfying feeling of being a vibrational match to what I'm asking for. Does that mean you need to always be there? Step 1 is really important. Without step 1, there's no expansion. So are you going to beat up on yourself when you're in step 1, or are you going to jump up and down with glee like your inner being does? Oh, good, there's trouble. There's trouble and therefore desire and therefore expansion and therefore potential satisfaction. That's how your inner being feels. Oh, good, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. They're in trouble. Everyone turn on the television. Trouble, 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 trouble. And rocket of desire, 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 rocket of desire. A vortex bigger than has ever been before into all of the universe. A universal expansion unlike anything that has ever been into all of the universe. Thank you for the trouble.
I find it easier to, and I'm getting better at that actually, and like on the medium level troubles and whatever else, where before I wouldn't be able to say, oh, contrast, good, yay, when it was like, it'd be like even small things that like, oh man, but now even like medium level stuff, I'm working towards the high level stuff.
So here's where we get to tell you what we really want you to hear here today. All of it's great. Trouble's great, contrast is great, new rockets of desire, all wonderful, lining up with it, all wonderful. That's all really good. We've written process after process after process after process to help you feel a little better, feel a little better, feel a little better, feel a little better. But today we want to amplify the notion of getting out ahead of it, rather than stepping out of bed into trouble and then spending the day cleaning it up. Why not daydream more? Why not think clean, clear thoughts? Why not allow yourself to think the thoughts that your inner being thinks? We've been saying for a long time, the universe will surprise and delight you. And Esther would say, I get the delight part, but I don't get the surprise part. Because if I'm the creator of my own reality,